How did you go from all of this talk about planning in the city of Tampa to drones?
I was actually interested in doing a podcast at the time, and at the in 10 years ago, there was a small group of podcasters here in Tampa that were getting together at local meetups, sharing their experience and how they got started. So I went to one of their meetups and started discussing an interest in podcasting. And then the next question, every time I asked about or told them I had an interest in podcasting, they'd say, "Well, what's your podcast going to be about?" And I had three ideas. One of them was going to be planning related, but I felt it would be a little bit of a conflict of interest if I was talking about things I was working on. The second was travel, and a lot of them just shook their heads and said everybody's doing a travel podcast. And then I kind of said, well, I had this interest in drones, and everyone at the group said you should do that. And I said, I have no idea anything about the drones industry or drones. And I said, well, doing a podcast is a great way to learn. So
That's exactly right.
that's how I jumped into it. I started doing the podcast, contacting people in the industry, and started interviewing them, and it's grown since.
And you almost have 450 episodes out there.
Yep.
Would you say 433?
433.
That's amazing. Well, yeah, check that out, people. That's cool. I certainly will check it out. I think it's a fascinating technology, and there's a hell of a lot to talk about right now with everything going on, and also transportation. The air taxis at the Tampa airport, they've unveiled through that German company.
Yeah.
So drones are getting ready to affect, plus deliveries, Amazon. It's like, well, I think Walmart is now delivering through drones,
Yeah,
right?
Walmart's been doing it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed most of the companies in the drone delivery space, and they all have different business models. And one of the most interesting one is the company, right? The name escapes me. It'll pop up as I'm talking, but their model is to create ghost kitchens in cities. So they'll go to an industrial area, find a big building, and start putting kitchens in it. And these might be name brand kitchens, some sort of pizza, coffee, Starbucks, something like that. But they only serve the deliveries. People can't go into the kitchen and buy anything. And the drones will deliver right from those kitchens to that warehouse to the surrounding community. And they said their biggest delivery is a cup of coffee. That's their highest rated delivery. And they said they can get a cup of coffee to a consumer within 2 minutes, still hot. And they said it still has the little curly thing at the top with the foam, undisturbed.
Now that's incredible.
So they just started doing. They were from Ireland. And now they're have a service in Dallas.
Interesting.
And then the Walmart, within a 5 mile radius of Walmart, there's something like 10,000 households generally. So they figured that in the suburban area is where people just, that decision when they need to go get something is like, it's too much time during the rush hour for me to go buy something that I need for dinner or whatever. So the suburban locations of Walmarts are starting to find that people will use a drone to have something delivered that they need for dinner or something like that really quick.
So groceries are waiting for you when you get home.
Yeah, or they just you're in the middle of cooking, you need something, it shows up within 5 minutes, 10 minutes of you making the order.
So you don't need to go to your neighbor for a cup of sugar anymore. You just have a drone come drop it off.
Yeah.
Wow, it's going to create so many questions about society and in what circumstances in 10, 20, 50 years are we even going to have to interact with each other?
Yeah.
And if I don't need to go next door to borrow something ever, I press a button and a drone drops it off. I'm in my car isolated or whatever, my autonomous vehicle isolated. It's like there's a lot of disconnection, I think, conversations that are going to occur with all this new technology.
And the technology is getting to where it's for the user, they won't even know. All they're going to do is open up an app, say, I need a head of lettuce. And for them, they don't care if it's coming from Uber Eats, Uber Air,
right?
Neighbor dropping it off. They just need a head of lettuce, but it's going to show up at their doorstep. And sometimes it'll be a land vehicle, and sometimes it'll be a drone that'll drop it off. But that's where people in the future are going to be going, is that they don't really care how it gets there as long as it gets there and they can pay for it at a competitive price.
What do you think the realistic application timeline of that is? I mean, do you think in 5 years that's not fully built out, but a regular part of our society?
I think it's going to be less for the deliveries because it's already happening. It's just that in the suburban areas, we'll see it growing quite fast, because that's where people will see the real value in terms of getting the product quickly without having to leave. Urban areas just become a little bit more complex because of all the buildings and flying over people and all that kind of stuff.
Here's an article from 2021. Alphabet, which is Google, right? I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Drones delivered 10,000 cups of coffee and 1,200 roast chickens in the last year. That was from August 2021. I'm sure their numbers have gone way crazier than that. On-demand drone delivery service in Virginia. Yeah, this is like very, very quickly becoming a regular part of society. I think even in Tampa, maybe it was Riverview or Brandon, somewhere in the Tampa Bay area, I saw an article about this practice being implemented. I think it was Walmart.
Yep.
Yeah, super exciting. Hey guys, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, click right here. Make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. Thank you for watching.